New York, I love you, but you're bringing me down. Like a rat in a cage, pulling minimum wage. New York, I love you, but you're bringing me down. New York, you're safer, and you're wasting my time. Our records all show you were filthy but fine. But they shuttered your stores when you opened the doors to the cops who were bored once they'd run out of crime. New York, you're perfect, oh please don't change a thing. Your mild billionaire mayor's now convinced he's a king. And so the boring collect, I mean all disrespect. In the neighborhood bars I'd once dreamt I would drink. New York, I love you, but you're freaking me out. There's a ton of the twist, but we're fresh out of shout. Like a death in the hall that you hear through your wall. New York, I love you, but you're freaking me out. New York, I love you, but you're bringing me down. New York, I love you, but you're bringing me down. Like a death of the heart. Jesus, where do I start? But you're still the one pool where I'd happily drown. And oh, take me off your mailing list for kids who think it still exists. Yes, for those who think it still exists. Maybe I'm wrong, and maybe you're right. Maybe I'm wrong, and maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. Maybe I'm wrong, and just maybe you're right. And maybe mother told you true, and there'll always be somebody there for you, and you'll never be alone. But maybe she's wrong, maybe I'm right, and just maybe she's wrong. Maybe she's wrong, and maybe I'm right, and this song is there. Yes,
We may be changing, but we're not gone for good. Don't miss a minute of the next chapter of Alt 92.3. Download the free Odyssey app and follow us to keep listening to the alternative music you love on Alt 92.3.
WINS News Time, 8:50. Good morning, it's Susan Richard. If you've been tuning in over the last couple of weeks, you've heard us talking about a new era in New York radio. Well, that time has come. All news, all the time is now being simulcast on 92.3 FM. The formal launch is at 9 o'clock, but we've snuck on a little early to get ready. Of course, 92.3 has its own incredible history in the city, so see if you remember some of these iconic sounds.
For 92 KTU, how do you like that, huh? Was it nice? Of course it was nice.
92, please.
Hey!
Want to rock? We deliver. Hey, rock. It's the all-new 92.3 Free FM. Now.
3 more choices.
New York City makes some noise. New York, new hit music.
Let's go. The hits don't stop. 92.3 AMP Radio.
Amp Radio.
92.3.
Well, for those of you listening to Alt right now, welcome to the 1010 WINS family. So, how did we get here? Joining me right here in the studio is our market president, Chris Oliveira, a product of Brooklyn. And did I hear this right, Chris? You were once an intern on the Howard Stern show on K-Rock?
You heard that right, but that was a very long time ago. I think it was the first Giuliani administration. Product of Brooklyn, and which kid from Brooklyn of a certain generation didn't grow up listening to WINS, waiting for that holy grail of news reports, the school closings on snow days. Right. So yes, you could say I have a connection both to 92.3 and 1010 WINS.
Awesome. You've come a long way, baby. Yeah. This is a very exciting day here at 1010 WINS. Let's start with the obvious question. Why put 1010 WINS on the FM?
Yeah, no, Susan, I've been asked a lot of people for this question. So the first thing I would say is when you have a brand like WINS that is such a powerhouse brand, it's got to get maximum distribution. And that's what we did today. So when you marry 92.3 to 1010 WINS AM, which is not going away. If anybody thought that signal was going away, it's not. Plus, you could stream it anytime, live on the Odyssey app. Those three things together gives WINS the maximum audio distribution that it deserves. It also gives us a second thing today, which is rare. Today, when the media world is very noisy and crowded, gives us a chance to introduce WINS to a whole new audience and even reintroduce WINS to maybe a portion of the audience that has gone away over the years. So if you're new or old, we simply say welcome to 1010 WINS at 92.3.
You know what's amazing to me is how 1010 WINS has evolved over the years. And we have people who have been here a very long time. I'm in my 24th year here at WINS. In many ways, we are not the same station that we were when we launched the format back in 1965. And yet, we're exactly the same station, right? With a 24/7 mission to serve the greater New York area with a special focus on the 5 boroughs of New York City.
You know, that's a great way to say it, because if you look at WINS, two of the hallmarks of WINS are being consistent and being familiar. And that's also probably a hallmark of a great news organization. So that's not changed. A lot has changed around us. If you think about it, you know, I used to call it the Battery Tunnel. Now we have to call it the Hugh Carey Tunnel. You know, reporters used to run around town chasing a story. They could drop a token to get into the subway. Now, pretty soon, they're not even going to be able to use a Metro card. So things have changed. Technology has changed. We're responding to that. That's one of the reasons WINS is now on FM. But what has not changed, I think the point of your question is the mission of WINS today in 2022 is the same as it was in 1965. Which is to be the go-to trusted source for news, traffic, and weather in New York City.
That's right. And whether we're reporting on a horrible hurricane or, you know, the Halloween dog parade, we're still the same radio station, and we give you the news that is important to you, you know? So, true story, on 1010 Day, October 10th, as we call it, folks were giving you heat for not getting us station swag, and you had the best comeback of all time.
Yeah, so 1010 is a holiday around here created by previous general managers and used to get gifts on 1010 days. It's been come to my attention that I fell in that responsibility the last couple of years. I didn't give enough swag out on 1010. So I came into the newsroom and said, you're right. I'm going to give you an FM. Here's the thing. You can't take the gift home with you, though. It needs to stay on top of the Empire State Building.
That's right. You wanted a t-shirt? I got you an FM station. There you go. Best gift ever. Thank you so much, Chris. Okay, from a market president to an international celebrity who also calls the city his home.
Dear Mr. Hamilton, your fellow Federalists would like to know how you'll be voting. History has its
This morning marks an historic day in history, and joining us for the big moment, a quintessential New Yorker, Lin-Manuel Miranda. Thank you so much for being here.
Hi, Susan. Thanks for having me.
You know, totally true. We did not ask anyone else to be here for this morning. And aside from your celebrity, of course, it's in part because you really epitomize the New York story. You know, parents from Puerto Rico, born and raised in New York. What does it mean to you to be a New Yorker? Would there be a Lin-Manuel without Inwood?
Well, yeah, there would be, but he would be very different. And, you know, to me, the 1010 Wins logo is sort of synonymous with waking up in the morning. That was the alarm sound my parents would wake up to on their AM radio dial. So it's quintessentially the sound of New York, just like the sound of, a subway leaving a station. 1010 Wins is just part of the soundscape of my childhood and my life in New York City. It's where you start your day.
I'm reminded of the song in Hamilton, Who Tells Your Story? Because we've got 8 million stories in the big city, right? And that's what we do. We tell those stories every day. So any memories of listening to 1010 Wins?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. It's really etched into my childhood. And again, I lived in Upper Manhattan, but I went to school on the Upper East Side. So what I associate with it is my parents driving in the car and waiting for that traffic moment to decide, are we going down the FDR or are we going down the Henry Hudson Parkway, and waiting for 1010 Wins to wait and tell us where the traffic was heaviest so that we could, improvise accordingly. So that's very much etched in my brain.
Congratulations, by the way, on Hamilton being performed in Germany in German. How awesome is that?
Yeah, well, I mean, the Hamburg production of Hamilton was really quite surreal. It's, all of you have had this experience, but it was my first time seeing Hamilton and not knowing the words. And it was, when that happens, the joy is in seeing the incredible work your collaborators have done, the incredible choreography, it's incredible cast. So that was really pretty incredible.
So you've traveled all over the country and all over the world with your projects, but there's no place like New York, would you say?
Yeah, well, listen, you're talking to a very biased interview subject. I live in the same neighborhood I grew up with. I married someone who grew up in my neighborhood, and we're raising our kids in the neighborhood we grew up with. So yeah, we wouldn't trade New York for the world.
You know, you come here and within 1 year, you're a New Yorker. It's so true, right?
Yeah, I always say that the measure of a real New Yorker is when you walk into your local bodega or deli and they just start working on your order when you walk in. You have to really earn that status.
Lin-Manuel Miranda, thank you so much for being with us on this historic day. It's almost that time. So how about counting us down?
Sure. It's an honor to be the one to throw the virtual switch and kick off a new era in news in New York. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1010 Wins is now on 92.3 FM.
Heading up the Canyon of Heroes.
New York City,
Hear the roar of this crowd.
a city like no other.
Happy 125th birthday, Statue of Liberty.
A city with swagger.
Great day to be an American. It's a great day to be a New Yorker. At the core of the Big Apple is heart, and we all feel it here today.
We've cheered together.
Yankees win! Yankees win!
And shed our share of tears.
Massive efforts were undertaken to try to bring John Lennon back to life. The debris from the TWA flight, a speaker floating upside down, a seat cushion.
We've been through a lot together.
The city of New York is still without power. The first can of gas has gone off, the second one, the third. Police have captured a man whom they believe to be the son of Sam.
The massive superstorm is not far away.
Our resilience is unbreakable.
I can hear you. The rest of the world hears you. And the people who knock these buildings down will hear all of us soon.
Never giving up.
We've had a miracle on 34th Street. I believe now we've had a miracle in Hudson.
Today, history is being made once again, as 1010 Wins can now be heard at 92.3 FM.
Juliet Papa, 1010 Wins, reporting live from the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade.
Glenn Shuck, 1010 Wins, here in Lower Manhattan.
Carol Dioria, 1010 Wins on 135th Street in Harlem. Samantha Leapman, 1010 Wins in Prospect Heights.
Roger Stern, 1010 Wins in the Bronx.
Eileen LaPalmer, 1010 Wins News.
New York and the Tri-State have a new home for all news all the time. 1010 Wins at 92.3 FM. It's about time.